Hello students, good morning. Welcome back to our science class. This is me, your science teacher. Today we are going to discuss our fifth chapter, that is separation of substances. Part 1, separation of substances. In our previous class we have discussed about sorting materials into groups. Materials are sorted into different groups based on their nature, based on their properties, like lustrous objects, non-lustrous, rough, smooth, transparent, translucent, opaque, floating, sinking objects. Like that, we have sorted them into different groups. In our today's class, we are going to discuss about separating the substances. When a substance is mixed with so many different components, it is necessary to separate. Here we are going to understand the different methods of separation. Let's get ready. Objectives of the class. Today we are going to discuss about meaning of separation and about different methods of separation with examples. There are so many different methods based on the materials, state of matter and their size. So we are going to discuss about first three different types of separations. First one is hand picking, which is the common method of separation you can see every day in your home. Next is threshing. Third one is winnowing. About this we are going to discuss in our today's class. Let us see the introduction of the topic, that is separation of substance. A large number of substances available in nature are mixed with certain other substances. See, we know that there are large number of things are available on this earth. Minerals, variety of stones, rocks, soil, metals. So many nature's gifts are there in our variety of plants, different kinds of animals, insects, birds. So many things are the gift of our nature. We use some substance for our personal purpose, right? So these things are mixed with some other materials. Thus, in order to use them, we separate them by various methods. On the separation of a mixture, some of its components may be useful or all components are useful. To get a pure substance, we are going to separate them. Here, while separating, only one part of the substance is useful or all the submixture are useful. Let us see the example. Separating butter from curd by churning. You can see here a lady is separating butter by churning. This method is called as churning. ಕಡ್ಗೋಲಿಂದ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಕಡಿಯೋದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Here, a lady is getting a butter from buttermilk. Here, both the substances are useful. Butter is also useful and buttermilk is also useful. Next example is separating tea leaves with a strainer. Already you are very familiar with this. Every day morning while preparing tea or coffee, your mother used to separate the tea leaves by using a strainer. It is a method of separation. Here tea leaves is useful for plants. It is not compulsory to use the tea leaves, but it is used as a manure for plants. But here the substance which is regularly useful for us is tea. The method of separating tea and tea leaves is called as separation of tea leaves by using strainer. Strainer is the instrument. See, separation of substances. There are many instances when we notice a substance being separated from a mixture of materials. Tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. You can see here tea leaves are separated. ಶಾಣಿಗೆಯಿಂದ ಚಹಾ ಸೋಸುವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಟೀ ಲೀವ್ಸನ್ನು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಸಪ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಟೀ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ವೆರಾಸ್ ದ ಟೀ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈನರ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ದ ಟೀ ಲೀವ್ಸ್. Let us see the meaning of separation. What is separation? Separation means removal of substances from a mixture of two or more substances. Here we are going to remove the useful substance from a mixture of two or more substance. Some examples are given here. Separating stone from rice. I think you are familiar with this. You have seen while your mother is preparing rice, she used to pick the stones which are present in the rice. Some stones are present in the rice by mistakenly, the shopkeeper may added to increase the weight. Here if there are stones are present, we can't use it to cook because it is not a eatable substance, it is not edible, it is harmful for us. So we need to separate the stones from the rice. This method, by picking the hand, we are separating the stone, right? This method is called as hand picking method. Not only from rice, wheat, java, ragi, any other cereals and pulses which we get from the farm are mixed with stones or dry grasses, hays, sticks. So it is better to separate and get the pure thing which are needed for us. Second example is very familiar, just we talk about it, that is separating tea from tea leaves. By using that strainer, we are going to separate the tea leaves from the tea. Third one is churning milk to obtain butter. By churning, we get the butter. This is separating butter from the buttermilk. These all are the examples. Once again, I repeat the meaning of separation. Separation means removal of substances from a mixture of two or more substances. Okay. In our daily life, there are many instances when we notice substance being separated from a mixture of materials. Tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. Grain is separated from stalks. Stalks means when you have you seen the open gunny bag which is filled with jowar or ragi. Along with that, there are some stones or mud or stalks are present in that. While harvesting, they are mixed with the grains. While harvesting, milk or curd is churned to separate the butter. Milk or curd is churned to separate the butter. These all are the common examples which we are seeing in our daily lives. As we learnt in chapter 3, we gin cotton to separate its seeds from the fiber. Cotton in the cotton seeds in a separate ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. This method is known as ginning. Yes, ginning is the method in which seeds are separated from the cotton. Perhaps you might have eaten salted dalia or poha. If you found that it had chilies in it, you may have carefully taken them out before eating, right? Every time this is the common habit for everyone, not only kids, even some grown up are also doing like that. We are going to separate green chili. If there are red chilies, we are going to separate the chilies, curry leaves, right? These all are good for our health, we need not to separate. But if it is too spicy which we find it difficult to eat, then we can separate, right? Suppose if you are given a basket containing mangoes and guavas and asked to separate them, what would you do? See, imagine you have a basket full of mangoes and guavas, both are mixed. Okay, I asked you to separate both of them. How would you separate? You will take two different containers. By picking mangoes, you will separate the mangoes, then leftover thing is guava, right? So Pick out one kind and place them in a separate container, right? Seems easy. But what if the material we want to separate are much smaller than mangoes and guavas? Imagine you are given a glass of sand with salt mixed in it. See, in first example, you are given a basket full of guavas and mangoes. You can easily separate it by picking the hand of any one kind of fruit, right? Whereas in second example, we have given you a glass of sand along with the salt. Sand, both are a very small size, right? Sand and salt. How can you separate it? Is it by picking hand you can separate? It is impossible. It is difficult way. Even to think of separating salt from this mixture by picking out grains of sand by hand, it is difficult. So we are going to separate the things based on their size and based on their matter. Methods of separation. Let us discuss about one by one methods of separation. We will discuss some simple methods of separating substances that are mixed together. You may come across some of these methods by used in day-to-day activities. First method is hand picking. The name itself tells us we are going to separate the mixture to obtain a useful substance by using our hand. By picking the substance by hand is called as hand picking. This is activity number 2. Bring a packet of food grains purchased from a shop to classroom. Now spread the grains on a sheet of paper. Do you find only one kind of grain on a sheet of paper? Are there pieces of stones, husks, broken grains and particles of any other grain in it? Now, remove with your hands the pieces of stones, husks and other grains from it. See, if we get a packet of 1 kg of any grain, some see like supermarkets and all, they are going to pick it and pure things are packed in it. Whereas if you go to the general store, sometimes it is mixed with stones, husks or broken grains. This method of hand picking can be used for separating slightly larger sized impurities like piece of dirt, stone and husk from wheat, rice or pulses. Here all these sizes are very big, we can see easily with our naked eye. So we can pick it by hand. The quantity of such impurity is usually not very large. In such a situation, we find that hand picking is convenient method of separating substance. You see, if you brought a 1 kg of rice, in that hardly 5 to 10 pieces of stones are there, then you can pick very easily by hand. This is the very simplest and easy method of separation. If there are one, sometimes by mistakenly you pour a glass of rice into a bucket of wheat, which you think, which one you are going to separate by rice or wheat, which is very less quantity. If we separate them by picking the hand, then remaining thing will be of pure substance. Let us discuss little more things about hand picking. The components of a solid mixture can be separated by hand picking. Solid mixture can be separated by hand picking. If a rice is mixed with a glass of water, can you pick it by hand? Is it a convenient method? No, here you are going to use a strainer. Again you do the same thing how you separated tea leaves from the tea. Okay, so if you want to use hand picking method, both the subjects should be in solid state. This is only useful when the particles are large enough to be seen clearly. It can be visible clearly. Okay, if for example take a glass of sugar powder and powder of salt or salt, both are mixed, can you pick it with a hand? Can you just identify whether both are mixed by just by seeing? No. It is difficult. So, hand picking method can be used only when the particles are large enough to be seen clearly. It is the most commonly used method of separation. For example, separating pebbles from rice or dal. From dal, separating small pebbles from the rice. Separating grass from mint leaves. In a mint leaves, sometimes by mistakenly grass is also added that can be separated easily. Separating parts of a salad. These are the some common examples which can be separated by using hand picking method. Let us discuss about the second method of separation, that is threshing. Threshing. You must have seen bundles of wheat or paddy stalks laying in fields after harvesting the crops. Stalks are dried in the sun before the grain is separated from them. Each stalk has many grain seeds attached to it. Imagine the number of seeds in hundreds of bundles of a stalk laying in the field. How does the farmer separate grains seeds from those bundles of stalks? One may pluck mangoes or guavas from the trees, but grain seeds are much smaller than mangoes or guavas. So, plucking them from their stalk would be impossible. It is really impossible because the seeds are java and ragi. Can we pluck one by one from the plant? No, it is really difficult. How does one separate the grain seeds from their stalk? Then what is the method they are going to use? The process that is used to separate grain from stalk, etc. is threshing. They use the method called as threshing. Okay. Then what is the meaning of threshing? What do they do in this process? Let us see. In this process, the stalk are beaten to free grain seeds. They are carried and beaten roughly. Sometimes threshing is done with the help of bullocks. Machines are also used to thresh large quantity of grains. But if it is very less quantity, farmers use by hand, they are going to thresh it. If it is the quantity is too large, then they are going to use a machines. Nowadays, machines are available to separate the grains. You can see here, so these ladies are using a bundle of stalks to separate the grain. They used to beat on these drums so that the grains are separated from the stalk. Okay, this method is called as threshing. Now we have discussed about two different methods of separation. First one is hand picking, used for separating large sized impurities like stones and husk from rice, wheat or pulses. You can see here a lady is separating stone from a rice by using hand. Here the reason to do hand picking is the impurities are of large size. If they are very small in size, then it is difficult to separate them. Then second method is threshing, used for separating grains from stalk. Machines can also be used for the process. You can see here grain from the stalk. They are using bullocks to separate the grains. If it is too much, means if it is in large quantity, machines are used nowadays. See activity number 3. Activity 3 says that make a mixture of dry sand with the sawdust or powder dry leaves. Keep this mixture on a plate or a newspaper. See, you have to take a dry sand and mixture of sawdust. Both should be mixed with powdered dry leaves, can also be used here. and keep it on a plate or newspaper. Look at this mixture carefully. Can the two different components be made out easily? Can we easily identify the two different mixtures which we have kept here? Are the size of the particles of two components similar? Both the size are similar or not? Yes, both are similar. Would it be possible to separate the components by hand picking? See, sand and dust. Can you separate it by hand picking? No, it is difficult. Now, take your mixture to an open ground and stand on the raised platform. Take that mixture which you kept in plate, no? Mixture of sand and dried leaves powder. Take it to the open ground, or you can stand under the fan or in front of table fan. Put the mixture in a plate or a sheet of paper. Hold the plate or a sheet of paper containing the mixture at your shoulder height. Means you have to take the plate up to your shoulder height. Tilt it slightly so that the mixture slides out slowly. What happens? Do both the components sand and sawdust or powdered leaves fall at the same place? Is there a component that blows away? Did the wind manage to separate the two components? This method of separating components of a mixture is called as winnowing. See here you have a mixture of sand and dried leaves powder in a plate that you are going to hold it height up to your shoulder height. Then you have to cross your plate, tilt your plate towards the wind opposite you have to tilt your plate. Then what happens? Both the substance will fall down. Definitely it will. But both components will fall at the same place? No. The lighter one flies away whereas the heavier one falls down. Sand falls near to your leg whereas the leaves, dry leaves powder or sawdust will fall away because they are lighter in weight. Okay, this method of separation is called as winnowing. Let's discuss few more points about winnowing. Winnowing is used to separate heavier and lighter components of a mixture by wind or by blowing air. See here, hand picking is done by the substances are a mixture which are having two different size, whereas winnowing is done with the heavier and lighter components. This method is commonly used by farmers to separate lighter husk particles from heavier seeds of grain. The husk particles are carried away by the wind. The seeds of the grain get separated and form a heap near the platform for winnowing. The separated husk is used for many purposes such as fodder for cattle. You can see here a former lady, she is doing winnowing. The heavier grains are falling down near to her, right? They form a big heap near to the platform, right? Whereas the lighter husk particles, dry leaves, sticks or any other lighter particles, because of force of wind, they fall far from the heavier particles because they are lighter in weight. Okay, so this method is called as winnowing. This can be again used as a fodder for cattle. Okay, this method is called as winnowing. Okay, with the same example, I would like to tell you that we have taken a mixture of sand and dry leaves powder, right? Same by winnowing method, when we do perform the activity, we can see a mixture of sand will form a heap near to your leg because they are heavy in size, whereas the dry leaves move away, far away because of lighter in weight. That method is called as winnowing. Okay students, today we have discussed about the meaning of separation and its importance in our life. Different methods of separation such as hand picking. Hand picking is a simple method which you can see every day in your home. Here, this method can be done only if the mixture is of larger size, which can be seen clearly with our eyes. Then, threshing. Threshing is a method of separating grains by beating it. If it is in large quantity, machines are also available to separate the grains from the stalk. The third method is winnowing. Winnowing is done only if the mixture is of two different type components. One should be heavier whereas the another one is lighter. Like this, winnowing is done based on the components. These are the three different and simple and important method of separation which we are going to discuss in our today class. Remaining different methods of separation will be discussed in our part 2 of the separation of substances. Hope you enjoyed the class. Bye bye.